Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, March 20th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. A lot of times we ask ourselves who we are. Who are you? Are you this body and mind? Are you this name? Are you what other people say you are? Or are you what you believe that others think about you? Think about how you define yourself and what definitive qualities have you placed on top of you. What are you really? Are you the sum of all your thoughts? When all these thoughts are gone, do you disappear as well? So I invite you to sit with this question deeply this week and keep looking within yourself for as long as you possibly can. The goal here is not to arrive at some correct answer that will satisfy your questioning mind. The movement of turning infinitely within with an open sense of curiosity and wonder is the divine purpose of this experience. It's not an easy one to do. So when you feel challenged with it, just snuggle in even closer at the very core of your stuckness and ask who I am, or who am I really? And remember always that totally loving and accepting you and it is the ultimate destination. Totally loving and accepting you. God is there only if you surrender. Surrender makes anything God. Surrender gives you the eyes. And everything that is brought to these eyes becomes divine. Also. A lot of people are always seeking enlightenment. To be enlightened is to be aware of the divine within yourself. I mean, really aware. To be lost in life is to forget that you are sacred, holy, and an explicit being of light who is deeply loved. To remember this wonderful paradigm is not hard to do. In fact, it happens easily and naturally when we become radically honest with ourselves. When we decide to realize that this is the real truth and it is available right now. We peel back the layers of lies and fabricated beliefs we have about ourselves and create instant access to our natural enlightened state. At the core of every atom is God, and we cannot ever be separate from that. To argue against this idea is to resist having perfect clarity. To ignore it is to ruin your chances to draw upon the unlimited possibilities eagerly being born for you in each moment. Your greatest potential you have is awaiting for you for your acceptance. It is already here now. You simply need to invite it in and integrate it into your life. When it comes down to describing its very essence, the universe we all live in is a highly sensitive, super intelligent field of pure conscious energy. Our level of connection to this field is ultimately responsible for whether we struggle through life or learn how to sit back and really enjoy the journey all along the way. The universe has already established a very deep and ultimate connection with us. It already knows everything about us. This universe knows what we crave, what we resist, what we habitually avoid, what we're addicted to, and what we truly yearn for, yet don't allow ourselves to have. This conscious universe knows what we want the very instant our desires are formed. This universe is so attentive, constantly here by our sides, assisting us in every possible way to manifest those practical results we desire guiding us towards the sweet, dreamy life we are all destined to live and have. When we can fully accept this idea that we are living in a highly intelligent, divine conscious universe that loves us, stuck in a playground of divine proportions, something magical begins to happen. An ocean of possibilities starts opening up all around us, and we realize how amazing this life actually is. We understand how easy it is to manifest anything we desire. This idea seems to get us very excited about simply being alive. Through our deepest connection to the superconscious, loving universe, we naturally begin paying more attention to who and what we are. We start noticing that we have an exquisite awareness inside us that is watching, listening, paying attention to every exquisite single moment of our lives. We start to become aware of awareness itself, becoming a more conscious, awake person who listens closer to what your innermost thoughts and feelings truly are. The wonderful thing about increasing our state of awareness is that there is an inexhaustible supply of it. The more we can tune into it, the bigger it becomes, and the more amazing our life gets. With more awareness, the critical judgment, condescending mind cannot continue. It begins to fall away because we stop entertaining it and believing that it exists at all. We start paying more attention to the things which only make us feel good on the inside. We begin noticing that our lives are ripe and ready for us to pounce on it and experience it in its grand totality. You see, there are no shoulds or should nots in this life. We fully accept others the way they are and ourselves as we are. This attitude blossoms a profound, peaceful understanding that things are divinely perfect just the way they are. Waking up in this life simply happens the more fully we are being in this moment. Waking up in this life simply happens the more fully we are being in this moment. The more aware we become of this moment, the more we realize that this life is happening for us and not to us. We begin to become paranoid, which is the opposite. We become pronoid, which is the opposite of being paranoid. We truly feel that the universe is conspiring in our favor, and we know how intimately the universe cares for us. There is an acceptance that every thought sailing through your head is a sacred, mysterious gift for you to unwrap and unravel. In the awakening mind, there is a finely attuned awareness of our listening. Our ability to hear the deeper message increases, and we know each message we receive is the perfect feedback we needed to hear to assist us. We realize that all the thoughts which come out of conversations with people, emails, media, and random events in the outer world are all awakening gifts from the divine. Awareness is ever there. It need not be realized. Open the shutter of the mind and it will be flooded with light, Nisargadatta. One of the most powerful ways to instigate this spiritual awakening is to take on the challenge to simply relax and enjoy each moment of your life completely. I know this sounds ridiculously simple, Yet, there is a constant push of tension and intense energy coming from the modern world. Acquiring the ability to remain in a relaxed, receptive body and mind all day long is extremely powerful. The more deeply we can relax into it, the more specific information we can pick up, and the easier it becomes to manifest the life of our dreams. The more you can relax into this divine conscious energy that's abiding in your awareness, the deeper becomes the knowing that you are a super powerful manifesting being. If there was a first step for everyone to truly wake up in this lifetime, it would be an outrageous surrender to our pure state of awareness in this deeply relaxed body. This is a deep dropping into who and what we really are. We have to give up wanting, needing, and yearning for life to be different, to free the mind enough to simply drop into the divine core of our being. It is deeply peaceful and powerful and will change the way we see everything and interact with everyone. At some point in this life, the suffering will stop happening to us. Life will change its game, and we will be forced to release our constant longing to do more, be more, have more, and find a way to simply be content with each experience of our day as it is. Everything becomes interesting from this place. Yet the most interesting thing is that this non-achieving mindset contains the most magnetic, attractive, and powerful manifesting energy available. It holds the power of pure creativity, and realize we can manifest anything our heart desires. The deepest transformation of our lives cannot happen from pure will. It occurs naturally and spontaneously by simply remaining curious for 24 hours a day. Remaining curious that this divine and powerful awareness that is merged with the whole forever expanding universe is what's here now. When there is a deep relaxation into the core of our awareness, into the center of our being, this huge shift simply happens. We become vigilantly aware of the type of habitual thinking that we've had for lifetimes and are able to shift out of it. We become a supremely conscious being who is aware of our biggest truth and what beliefs we need to release to radically expand our experience of reality. We become extremely receptive and open to new ideas, people, and places. Knowing these help from form new insights as to the specific actions you need to take for your soul's greatest spiritual awakening to occur. When the waking up process begins, you feel as if you're falling in love with life, yourself being the center of it. You are deeply intrigued about yourself, paying very close attention to how intelligent, loving, and guided you naturally are. This natural state of self-love changes the greatest thing of all. Your mind naturally and effortlessly starts entertaining only the positive thoughts and gently ignores the negative ones. You are so wide awake that you couldn't imagine believing a negative thought to be true. Through your awakening, you become a gratitude factory for life, constantly overflowing with happiness, trust, and kindness. You find your mind naturally decides to be grateful about the food you're eating instead of complain. Your mind tends to trust that things will work out perfectly in your future instead of worry. You choose to be honest about the tiniest little things instead of pull out a white lie. You naturally appreciate others of who they are being and tell them this to their face. There is a fearlessness about this life, and also a more humble, undemanding approach to life, as all your relationships become your greatest teachers. You simply become a happier, more satisfied human being as a result of this constant expansion of consciousness. And as a natural byproduct, you become an even stronger manifesting magnet for what your heart longs for. I find that somehow, by shifting the focus of attention, I become the very thing I look at and experience the kind of consciousness it has. I become the inner witness of the thing. I call this capacity of entering other focal points of consciousness love. You may give it any name you like, Nisargadatta. The more aware we are of our awareness and how it's connected to the entire conscious universe, the faster and easier we wake up. We come to trust in the amazing consciousness within us and know it's guiding our every move. There is this perpetual letting go and letting in experience, which is the foundation of trust in its most rawest form. This is the final key to unlocking the spiritual pathway for the universe to enter your heart and guide your life in each moment. This level of trust is amazing, as it will deliver every desire you want to have in life with effortless joy and ease. The more you can trust in your own power and connection, the more you'll feel and know yourself as pure creative conscious energy who is unstoppable in anything you decide to take on. And yes, you are unstoppable. Take this thought in deeply. Rest with it deep inside yourself. Allow the calm, quiet awareness that's connected to your breath. Inhale this idea all day long. Excuse me. Let yourself feel unstoppable in everything you desire in this life. You can have what you want. And yes, you deserve it. Every one of us do. This is how powerful this connection is to the universal source. Try it. You'll quickly train the mind to let go of any old fears, negativity, and lower vibrations that may be lingering deeper inside you. When we are truly awakened beings, we seem to be not of this world. We can simply visualize what we want, feel we are receiving the physicality of it, know it is coming our way, and it magically manifests into our lives. There are no real limitations or boundaries unless the mind believes in them to be there. Instead, we find there is this natural enjoyment of every moment of our journey. The awakened being is piercing through the mind's judgments about others and receiving warm, fuzzy feelings from the universe in its place. There is a knowing that we are all divine and totally lovable human beings exactly the way we are, and have truly nothing to fear. There is a relaxed mastery over the mind, a feeling of oneness with all of life. We find that life itself is the greatest miracle. All of this and much, much, much more is discovered by simply enjoying each mysterious new moment of life exactly as it is. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies that we're in. It is imperative that we stay in a relaxed body. And we do this through the breath. Easy in through the nose, breath in through the nose, easy breath out through the mouth. When we focus on our breath, everything that is anything is gone. We focus on our breath, we're in the now. When we're in the now, the ego mind doesn't exist. When we're in the now, the subconscious mind doesn't exist. All the mind chatter's gone. All the fear, all the worry, all the stress, all the anxiety is gone. In the now. You would think that we would all be in the now, wouldn't we? But we have this tendency to be distracted to external reality, the material physical world. And our true peace in finding the God that we are within the body is in the now. In the now we're being. If you look at that body you're in, it is a magnetic sponge, and it attracts everything. Everything the ego mind conjures up. Every thought, every fear, every worry, every stress, every anxiety. And the body gets heavy. It's like continually putting weight on your shoulders. You can feel the pressure pushing you down. But in the now, that doesn't exist. None of it does. The body releases all of these stresses, and you move into a natural state of relaxation. As long as you're in the now. It is imperative to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves at all times. Also, to be of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude. Now, while we're in the now, there are lots of things happening around us. We have tens of millions of thoughts floating in front of us, flying by like clouds in the sky, and they aren't even ours. You might as well just call them programs. That's, just call them programs. And we sometimes will grab onto them because they're so tricky that they make us believe that they're ours. So, of course, we grab onto it and we kind of float off somewhere. Have you ever felt where you've done this, right? And you just kind of feel out of sync, like, this doesn't seem right, because it isn't yours. All the thoughts ever generated on this planet are still on this planet. Tens of thousands of millions of years. In addition to that, we put out ourselves, each of us, over 60,000 thoughts a day. Well, now when you begin to master, you understand that you send out thoughts to the universe, but they don't come into you. Those are the thoughts that are flying by like clouds in the sky. And when we do, because none of us are exempt from it, we'll all float off at times. We just focus on our breath, and we'll be in the now. 3,000% of the time, which is basically every single time we'll be in the now. Right in this very moment. Because in the moment is all we have. We don't have tomorrow, and we don't have yesterday. Everything is in the now. But many of us in the physical material world worry about yesterday and fret about tomorrow. You see all the time that occupies us, incessantly so, when our concentration is a mere footsteps away through the door of the inside journey, the eternal inside journey. Now, if you were to look inside the body, which you're not the body, you're not the name, you're not the personality, You're not the character. You're not your status. You're the God within it. But when you look in there, you see these 7 lights. And each one's a different color, very deep, beautiful colors. Not like on this planet. They're much more vibrant. And these on this planet are known as chakras. And the definition of chakra is wheel. These are wheels of light. Spirit etheric energy. You, the God in that body, is spirit etheric energy. Omnipotently powerful. We flow through these. And we know all the emotions, everything. All the organs, everything down to the quantum quark. We are literally experts on these bodies as the gods within them. The point is that we have not reconnected to the gods that we are. So we aren't aware of any of this. Totally oblivious. So we are, and we will discover that we are the power of healing these bodies in an instant, in a blink of the eye. Now picture that you're standing in front of 3 paths. You're in the center one, which is the now. One on the left is the past, one on the right is the future. And you notice that each one has the trees have formed a canopy, which is gold shimmering, the shimmering leaves and the bark and the branches. And the path itself is a spectacular, brilliant emerald green flaming grass. Now the only difference in any of them, you notice, is that the one on the left is very worn, and the one on the right is very worn, and the one in the center, the now, it almost looks brand new. Why is that? Because the majority of us do everything we can to stay out of the now. We do everything we can because we're under the mastership of the ego mind. We do everything we can to stay either in the past or the future. The ego mind does this because it knows it won't exist if it goes into the now. And it doesn't exist when we go into the now. You can see why that for many, it's an uphill climb to try to stay in the now. And that's where everything is. Past, the present, future, and the now. Now, we all reminisce. We have memories. We enjoy them. We visit them on occasion. Could be any time that sparks it, and we go back and reminisce, and we review it, and how fun it was, and how enjoyable, and how it would be fun to do it again. And then we also visit the ones that aren't too great, and we say, no, I did that one. I'm not going to do that one again. And we have our own private library, which is the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind copies everything, copies and stores it. Everything that you've experienced in this life so far and other lifetimes, it copies it and it stores it. Anything that the ego mind generates in this lifetime, it copies and stores it, and it replays everything. So we'll go up and we'll open the door and turn on the lights, and we'll go to the shelves and we'll pick up some movies and books and pictures. And then we'll sit in an easy chair, watch the movies, review the pictures, and we'll read the books. But we don't stay there. We visit, yes. But when we're done, we put everything away, we turn off the light, we shut the door, we move forward in life. And on occasion, revisit. Now, some of us, though, will stay there. And I don't believe it's conscious. I believe it's unconscious. They stay there so long that they end up bringing the past into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, relive that past and that future. This is why they say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, all of us will kind of wander into the future. But the future doesn't exist because we're creating the future and now. So we just kind of go into this pseudo-future. And for us, it's always asking questions. It's always a when. You know, when something is going to happen. When you can expect things to take place. When is your life going to change and turn for the better? When are you going to have enough money to enjoy your life? When are you going to be well enough to enjoy your life? When are you going to finally start feeling happy and joyous? I mean, when are you going to meet your lifelong romantic partner? When are you going to get a better job? When are you going to have a better boss? When are you going to get the house, the car, whatever? And we do this. Sometimes we'll seek external authority to tell us what we want to hear mostly. And then the things we don't care to hear that we're being told, we just ignore. But see, we create that. We manifest all of that. So it becomes more and more apparent that the only place to be in this life is the now. And we know that the God that we are enters this body. The God is the heaven. Heaven is not a place that's a matrix deception. So you, the God, the heaven, the kingdom of God in that body being earth, you being heaven, heaven on earth, and consciously aware. Not all of us are consciously aware to any extent. Consciously aware means that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest, eternal love. So every step we take, we're creating paradise, literally. Not only that, we're shining our light 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond. What is the light? It is the love that you are within that body. It is the God source, the kingdom of God that emanates this light. And each of us, you figure there's 8 billion of us in humanoid form, not including all the ones of us that are inhabited in other physical forms on this planet, uninhabited above and below us. If you were to take a starship off planet, you went out far enough so the planet looked like a basketball. And you would notice that it really glowed, heavy duty. You notice all the lights in the universe surrounding would be like a lit candle in a dark room. Dim, dim, dim. There's no other higher vibrational frequency than the gods that we are within these bodies. Saturating, permeating, and flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. And this planet is being transformed into a God planet paradise. It cannot be stopped. Which in turn means that all of the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies are evaporating. You can see it through your heart mind. You can see this blackest of the blackest black. It's like an ether that's leaving the planet. Like a black matter, a goop that's just evaporating off. And the light of the planet gets brighter, brighter, and brighter. Now we have gods that are part of us, pieces of us that are asleep. They don't participate in anything. They are completely asleep. We deeply love them because they are a part of us. We have the other parts of us that are awake, consciously aware to a certain extent. Now, the numbers are in the googolplexes. One googolplex fills this entire universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. And understand these are trillions of googolplexes from trillions of universes. And no matter where any of us are at, or we appear to be, we are one. We always have that. It won't change. The Pleiadians, all of us, yeah, we have different physical forms to a certain extent. But the gods within all those physical forms, we're one. And we learn from each other constantly. This is the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. Ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, Amoria, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yella, Yeshua. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All the off-worlders, the galactics, and the celestials. Now, light energy beings, because the eyes that we have with these bodies that we're in, we only see 1% of what is. We don't see the different light spectrums of red, infrared, violet, ultraviolet, green, ultra-green, blue, ultra-blue. But they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations. And there is a group that we are familiar with and that these bodies are super dependent upon. Fairies, sprites, elves, gnomes, dwarves, trees, trolls, elementals, magics, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. Now ask your body that you're in, can it survive without air, water, fire, earth, wood, ether? There's a big answer. The answer is no. We would be forced to leave these bodies without any of that. So these bodies are super dependent on the elementals, the magics. And yet, we take them for granted. We take them for granted. Until the time comes when we start realizing when we're dying of thirst or starvation, and we say, I'd give anything for just a morsel or just a drop of water. Now, the Ascended Masters, they've ascended into physical form. They have mastered physical form. They've ascended out of physical form. They hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. The archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. Their civilization vibrates at a different frequency than we do. The gods within their forms are no different than the gods within our forms. Now, we don't see them like we see each other because of their vibrational frequency. But we do meet with them. And we don't know we meet with them while we're meeting with them. There's times, and many lifetimes, where they have been there to assist us, to support us, to comfort us. You might be in a random conversation with a complete stranger, and after that conversation, something dawns upon you, or within you, that you say to yourself, that was an angel. And you feel bliss. Now, they've been delivering the same message to all of us for many lifetimes, in many different ways. And it really is, isn't it absolutely magnificent, glorious, spectacular to be alive in these bodies? it is. But we have no point of reference because we have amnesia. So we don't know how phenomenal these bodies are. We enter them, and we experience them, and we leave them. But when we leave them, and we're in the sacredness of space, we don't eat, we don't drink, we don't make love, we don't kiss, we don't hold hands, we don't laugh, we don't cry, we don't breathe in the wonderful air. We don't experience the sun on our faces, the wind in our hair. None of that. Zilch. We don't see through these eyes. We don't experience touch, excitement, gratitude, thankfulness, any of that. We don't. So being in these bodies every split second is tremendous. That's why we stay in gratitude 24/7. That's why we're so gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves, always. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time, in the tens of thousands or tens of millions. Reason is because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. And if you'd like them to surround you, ask. They'll be there in a blink of the eye, and you'll be in bliss. Now, the off-worlders, the galactics and the celestials. Over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through this solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. But we're familiar with a small group: Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, the bodies, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, we're all gathered. We're always gathered. We just focus our attention on something. We're focused on the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. Vaporization, elimination of all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, which is going on right now. And we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one. We're all God. We're all love. And our God force love light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Continues to intensify, grow, and expand. We immediately form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This white fire, ring of light, emanates from the gods within each and every one of us, which are pure love. This is the highest of the highest high frequencies. And it is flooding this planet, saturating and permeating it, head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, infinity and beyond. But we begin to ascend above the planet. As we do, we're immediately met with a massive ocean of glitter. Now, it's not like an ocean of glitter you would depict on this planet. This one would be, to describe it, you start off with this massive grand finale fireworks display, massive grand finale laser light show display, and then this massive ballroom globe, mirror globe. We're familiar with those that circle and reflect all light everywhere, 360 degrees. except this one's a trillion times larger and a trillion times more intense. Now, if you combine them all in one massive crescendo, and see this through your heart, mind's motion picture, that would be about as close as we could get to describing the ocean of glitter. Now, we're curious beings, so we go to the points of reflection. And we notice these little tiny microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched, and we enter them. And we discover that all of us, no matter what physical form we're inhabiting, are teaching and learning from each other, to each other, always, infinity and beyond. You can learn from a bug in the rug, a fly on the wall. You can learn from your pets, dogs, cats. You can learn from the animals, the wildlife, the trees. We were taught that trees are life. Not so. We are life. So God enters a tree, powers up the tree, so the tree can sustain the God, so the God can experience the tree. If you were to sit and just be in silence, and you were to focus on your breath, and you were to look at things like a rock, and you would say, I wonder what it would be like to be that rock. And for a brief moment, you would be that rock. So we're learning constantly, shifting constantly, absorbing, taking in. But on this planet, where a lot of us are distracted with the material physical world. So we look at these things much differently. We look at them as we're separate from them. And we're not. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind all of us, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected by a white fire armor. And this armor isn't anything like it is on this planet. It's much way beyond that. And it emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies. Pure, deep, eternal love light. Highest of the highest high frequencies. Can't be penetrated. Can't be affected, weakened, dissipated at all. Cannot be seduced. So that means no demon possession, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. Ever, ever, ever. Because they can't come around us. Our frequency is so high that they would vaporize if they came near us, so they leave us alone. They stay away. But only you have the power. That if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through fear, hatred, anger, greed, revenge, envy, hurriedness, worry, stress, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then the possibilities of demon possession, attachments, and other things are available. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. First part of this column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this part of the column to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame, transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness, where they are no more. Then we're met with the second column of light, the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that we created to remind all of us, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the sun, the sunlight, the rain, the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the trees, the forests, the soils, the sky, the clouds, the animals, the mountains. We are everything. Everything is us. So the next time you view a sunset or a sunrise or a rainbow or an ocean front or a cloud or a mountain view or a starry lit night sky, it is you, the God that you are in that body. Do you see a sunset? That is the God that I am. You see the ocean? That is the God that I am. The illusion that we're always played upon is separation. And there is nothing that is separate at all. We continue to ascend above the planet. As we do, some of us step outside our physical form. We're carrying physical form, hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do this is because it's fun, and we can. We come immediately in full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. Center of the column, we notice this massive oblong sphere, and in the center of the sphere, we see this golden white ball of light. And it, in turn, is surrounded and encircled by numerous rings of multicolored light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. This, in turn, creates this massive, super bright, white, sparkling, electrified cloud. And it immediately is absorbed into our heart minds, and it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. We discover that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes well-being, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, stupendous, massive prosperity, and stupendous, massive abundance. And we discover that all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now we designed the tops of the golden ocean to come cascading down 360 degrees, as it is doing right now 24/7, saturating, permeating, and flooding this planet and all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. And the golden ocean is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. We are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops are the golden ocean, and the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It sits center circle. All of us created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds over 1,800 of our meditations in perpetual motion. 7 days a week for over 4 years, every single day. All concentrating our God love light energy on the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. There is nothing more powerful There is no higher frequency than the love that we are. Hundreds of millions of us, on and off world, focused on complete liberation of this planet. All lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies vaporizing off the planet permanently, never to return. On it, in it, above it, and below it. Now these meditations, they continue to strengthen, grow, expand, intensify. We can tap into them anytime we choose. In the now. There are no accidents or coincidences in this world. There never was. Nothing is by chance. It is all a reflection, indication, expression, and manifestation of our body-mind's vibration. Your vibration is determined by the thoughts and feelings you choose to experience, which are also being sent out into the universe. Your body-mind is like a massive radio tower that emits a personal signature energy, which is constantly being received by the universe. Positive feelings, thoughts, create easy, healing, and satisfying experiences, with negative thoughts and feelings attracting situations that leave us with a dark, lonely, and impoverished experience. For today, hold your attention on the most powerful vibration there is, love. Start by turning your radio tower so it's working at 100% by practicing self-love. Love yourself, no matter what happens today. This commitment releases all negative possible accidents from entering your vibrational field. You'll win every battle with pain, poverty, and failure. Imagine what it will be like to be self-loving and self-accepting for the next 24 hours. I'll join you in a meditation and return to close us out. take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out the mouth. Continue to be still. Enlightenment comes like a bolt of lightning, yet can trickle throughout your life, a slow, soothing stream. Notice if you generally have a protective hardness, lightness, resistance, friendliness, defensiveness, pushiness, or perhaps a needy energy. Watch what typical reaction you have with others and don't change it. Let it change into something else on its own. Be patient with it. Ask it questions that might unravel its past. Don't be attached to what comes about. Simply drop into it profoundly. Choose to be in your heart of your programming deeply and let the self-realization come out of it. This is the only thing that will stop the habits and is how you will evolve quickly in your consciousness. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. And we will return here Monday, March 21st, 2022, the beginning of spring, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.